All right, hi fifth graders. I'm currently waiting for a math video to upload to YouTube, so I figured while I'm waiting, I would go ahead and read a few more chapters of Ban's book. So if you remember where we left off, Amy Ann had grabbed her suitcase and ran out the door after yelling at her family. And this chapter that we're on today is called Runaway. I had made it as far as the 4-lane road outside our subdivision when Mom found me. She pulled up alongside me in the car and rolled down the window. "Amy Ann, come home," she said. "No," I said. "Where are you going to go?" "To Rebecca's house," I told her, even though I'd just thought of it and didn't know how to get there. All I really wanted to do was get as far away from my house as I could. A car honked at Mom for sitting in the right lane, and she drove ahead and pulled into the next driveway. She got out and was standing next to the car when I walked up. She and the car were blocking my way. "Your little sister is a mess," Mom said. "She thinks you're never coming back." "Good," I told her. "I'm not." "They didn't mean it, you know," Mom said. "They didn't mean what they were doing, either of them. They didn't ruin your papers on purpose." "But they did. They ruin everything, and they never get in trouble for it. It's not fair." I could feel myself starting to cry again, and I hiccuped a sob. Mom bent down. "Come here," she said. She pulled me into her arms, and I cried into her shoulder. "I wish you hadn't stomped and yelled, but you're right. You do make a lot of allowances for your sisters. Your dad and I appreciate it, but sometimes we forget and take it for granted. We're sorry too." "I'm sorry I said I hate you," I told her. "I don't hate you." "I know, sweetheart, I know. Will you come home?" I sobbed again. I didn't want to give up, but I didn't really know where I was going to go or how I was going to live without my family and my home. Running away was so easy for Claudia and Jamie, but they were characters in a book, not real like me. I nodded into her shoulder. At home, Angelina and Alexis and the dogs practically knocked me down at the door. Angelina and Alexis threw their arms around me and hugged me tight. "I'm sorry I moved your box without asking," Alexis said. "I'm sorry I shredded your papers," Angelina said. It sounded like Dad had coached them on their apologies, but I still appreciated it. Dad hugged me too and told me he was glad I had decided not to run away after all. "Can we print new forms for you?" Dad asked. "Your mom can run you by her office tonight if it will help. Were they something to do with the school board meeting tomorrow night?" "Yes," I said, still sniffling, "but it's too late." "We made new papers for you," Angelina said. She and Alexis handed me pieces of paper where they had drawn wobbly lines and filled them in with random words. Alexis's were full of ballet terms she had written out by herself. Angelina's were full of the names of My Little Pony characters Alexis had written in for her. I knew they were just trying to help, but it made me upset all over again. They tried. I was going to have to call Trey and tell him it was over. "If Mommy makes more, we can help you fill them out," Angelina said. "No, you don't understand," I said. There wasn't any way to explain to them that lists of ponies and ballet positions weren't going to help. They have to be filled out at school, and even if Mom was able to copy 1,000 of them, we would still need every kid at Shelbourne Elementary to fill one out tomorrow by the end of the day. I suddenly got goosebumps again, but the good kind, like R.L. Stine goosebumps. That was it. That was the answer. "Could you," I asked Mom, "make lots of copies tonight? Make 1,000 copies?" "Well, yes," Mom said. "We can go right now." Angelina and Alexis started jumping up and down, sensing my excitement, and the dogs yipped happily. Okay, let me print one up from online and we can go," I said. "No, wait, I need to make a phone call first." I ran to the kitchen and called Trey to tell him what happened. "She shredded every single one of them?" Trey said. He forgot he was supposed to be quiet so his mom didn't hear him. "She shredded every single one of them?" he whispered. "But we needed those for tomorrow's school board meeting. The 4 of us can't fill all those out again in time, and by next month it will be too late. There won't be any TV crews there next time. Nobody will care by then." "I know," I told him, "which is why we're going to get everybody in the school to fill them back out for us." "How?" Trey asked. "We could only fill those out when we were in the library." Even if we got library passes, we'd have to be in class the rest of the day. Which is why we're going to run away from school, I said, butterflies flittering in my stomach, like Claudia and Jamie in From the Mixed Up Files. Play hooky from school? Trey asked in an excited whisper. And go where? I laughed. Where I always run away to, I told him. The bathroom. Okay, this next chapter. Malaria from watermelons. Trey and I explained everything to Danny and Rebecca on the bus, and we hid behind them as we came into school the next morning, making sure no teachers saw us before we slipped into the bathrooms. The girls' bathroom for me, the boys' bathroom for Trey. I scurried into the last stall, hung my backpack on the hook, and locked myself in. My day of playing hooky from school at school had begun. In From the Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler, Claudia and Jamie leave their band instruments at home and pack all their clothes and money and toothbrushes and things they'll need when they run away in their empty instrument cases. I wasn't in the band, and neither was Trey, so we couldn't do the same thing. But we weren't staying overnight anyway. All I had packed in my backpack was the huge pile of request for reconsideration forms my parents had printed off for me the night before, and enough snacks to make it through the entire day. The first bell rang, and I felt the first pangs of guilt for breaking the rules. When the second bell rang, the one that said I was now officially late to class, I actually shook, afraid that at any moment Detective Banazuski was going to come into the girls' bathroom with a sniffer dog and discover me. The door to the bathroom opened, and I lifted my legs up and held my breath. What if it was Principal Banazuski come to look for me? But wait. Did that mean I should put my feet down so I just looked like a regular girl going to the bathroom? Maybe I should rattle the toilet paper around and flush the toilet. No, then she'd expect me to come out of the stall. Amy Ann, are you in here? Somebody whispered. I recognized the voice right away. It was Jana Park, the girl who'd called me AA. Here, I whispered, opening the stall door and peeking outside. Jana had every one of the Little House on the Prairie books stacked up in her arms. Whoa, I said. You even checked out the doubles they had on the shelf. Rebecca said to, Jana told me. She said if we didn't, we might accidentally double up, and we didn't have time for that. Rebecca, so smart. Okay, I said, pulling one of the request for reconsideration forms from my backpack. Now, I just need you to fill out a form for each book before you go back to class. Jana began to fill out the first form. But what do I say? There's nothing bad about Little House on the Prairie. She was right. But no, that was true about all the books. I had to think like Mrs. Spencer. Better, I had to think like Rebecca. They get malaria in that one, I said. That's scary, right? And the settlers think it's because they ate bad watermelon. But that's not how you get malaria. That's deliberately misleading. That could make a kid think you get malaria from watermelons. Jana giggled and wrote it in. This was the plan. We were going to do exactly what Mrs. Spencer had done when she wanted to ban books, but didn't want to wait for the school board to say yes. We were going to check out as many books from the library as we could, and then turn in requests for reconsideration forms for them all tonight at the school board meeting. Rebecca and Danny stayed on the outside, slipping notes into everybody's lockers that told them to check out books and bring them to me in the girls' bathroom and Trey in the boys' bathroom. That's why we were playing hooky from school, so we could be here all day to help them fill out requests for reconsideration forms for all the books. If even half the kids at Shelbourne Elementary did it, we'd have hundreds of books banned by the end of the day. The door opened and a third grader I didn't know came in with a stack of Banicula books. Is this where I go to ban books? She asked. Right this way, I told her. Let me get you a form. Okay, I think... Yeah, we're going to just pause here for today. We'll do a shorter one today, and then tomorrow for Friday, I'll do a little bit longer one. So tomorrow we'll do When You Gotta Go, You Gotta Go.